Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, 3 deadly hunters arrived on Earth not to conquer it, but to test themselves, and among them stood one warrior who would etch his name into Predator legend. Scar. If you've seen Alien vs. Predator, you know exactly who we're talking about. He's the one who wore his kills like trophies and branded himself with an X-shaped mark. Along with having some fancy armor and cool toys, he also had strategy and emotion. That's what set him apart from his bloodthirsty kin, because he understood the importance of the ritual they were there to perform. But what made him who he was? Where did he come from? Today, we'll be slicing into the anatomy of Scar to answer all those questions. From his culture, his weapons, his mindset, to the myth that turned this predator into one of the most iconic hunters in the entire franchise. Before we get into this explanation, we do have a very quick request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Scar, and where did he first appear? Scar is the main Yautja from the 2004 film Alien vs. Predator. He's the youngest of 3 hunters who arrive on Earth for a coming-of-age ritual buried deep under the ice in Antarctica. His brothers, Celtic and Chopper, join him on this ritual hunt, and it's something every young predator must complete to earn their warrior status, like a rite of passage. Their prey are the xenomorphs, who, if you remember correctly, are these acid-blooded nightmares from Alien. While his brothers charge in and get themselves killed by the aliens, Scar adapts and studies his surroundings to prove that he's more than just muscle. In the Predator lore, Scar remains a fan favorite because he showed intelligence and respect along with surviving the longest. There's more to what happens with him in the movie, but more on that later. What are Scar's main physical features? Scar looks every bit the warrior his name suggests, but with a twist of individuality that makes him stand apart from the older Yautja we've seen before. Unlike the grizzled jungle hunter from 1987's Predator, Scar's design leans toward a younger, more energetic fighter. He's tall, broad-shouldered, almost built like a walking tank, yet his movements have a certain speed that betrays his age. His vitality gives him a glossier, darker skin tone compared to that of earlier Predators. One of the most striking aspects of Scar's appearance is his face. It looks expressive and surprisingly human for a creature built to kill. His eyes are a rich shade of brown with large pupils that give him unexpected depth. When he studies Lex Woods, there's a flicker of understanding in those eyes. It's not mercy exactly, but there's an awareness there. His tusk-like mandibles open wide in his trademark battle roar, but the subtler design choices of smoother facial ridges and fewer scars with rounder cheekbones gives him a more youthful appearance. Then, there's the mark that earns him his name. After killing his first xenomorph, Scar performs the sacred predator ritual called the blooding. This is done by using the creature's acidic blood to sear an X-shaped symbol into his own forehead. It's a badge of honor, really, and it brands him as a true warrior among his kind. The scar becomes both his name and his story. Scar's dreadlocks are longer and thicker, almost resembling stylized warrior braids. They frame his mask and swing dramatically in combat, which was a design choice to give him a wilder look. His armor follows that same pattern, slightly bulkier with sharper angles and broader plating across the shoulders and chest. It's more ceremonial really, because it's meant for close combat. The metal is weathered with alien symbols, but each piece still fits tightly against his muscular frame. Overall, Scar's look combines raw strength with youth and ritual symbolism. Every feature, from his expressive eyes to his acid-burned mark, tells the story of a predator stepping into adulthood through blood, pain, and honor. How does Scar's equipment and weaponry work? Scar's gear is basically his entire survival kit and personal fashion statement rolled into one. Every weapon he carries has a purpose, a story, and usually a dead xenomorph attached to it. Let's start with his most iconic piece, his biomask. Scar's mask is instantly recognizable because it's marked by that X-shaped burn he carved into it after killing his first alien. As we know, this is seen as a proud declaration that he's earned his warrior status. The mask also acts like a multi-tool for hunting. It enhances his vision by letting him see heat signatures, movement trails, and even hidden objects in total darkness. It has a built-in targeting system for his shoulder cannon and even a rebreather system so he can survive in different atmospheres. You can call it a helmet, night vision goggles, goggles, and a Wi-Fi router all wrapped into one. His twin wrist blades are the close combat MVPs. They shoot out from his gauntlet with the kind of precision that would make a swordsman jealous. These blades are razor sharp and capable of cutting through alien exoskeletons like butter, which, considering how acid-happy those creatures are, takes real confidence. Scar uses them for slicing open skulls to claim trophies. When he's not using them for murder, they look pretty stylish too. Then there's the combi stick, his extendable spear. Scar wields it like a veteran gladiator, and it's proven really helpful in pinning xenomorphs to pyramid walls. It collapses neatly for storage, but extends to full length in a heartbeat. Then, his plasma caster is this shoulder-mounted cannon. It locks onto targets through the biomask and fires high-energy plasma bolts that vaporize almost anything unlucky enough to move in front of him. It's the Predator version of a "don't test me" button. Scar's wrist gauntlet carries his tech interface and, more importantly, his self-destruct device. When things go south, and they usually do, Predators use this to erase evidence of their existence. In Scar's case, he actually activates it to destroy the pyramid when the xenomorph infestation spirals out of control. That moment turns his wrist into a ticking time bomb and shows how seriously these hunters take their code of secrecy and honor. One of Scar's most creative moments happens when he goes full MacGyver with alien corpses. After killing a xenomorph, he slices off its head and tail to craft weapons for his human ally, Lex Woods. He gives her a spear tipped with an alien's tail blade and a shield made from its skull. It's disgustingly clever since their acidic blood is neutralized and the exoskeleton is tougher than any metal. It's also one of the rare times we see a predator share their resources with a human. How did Scar's hunt unfold, and what made him stand out? Scar's hunt plays out like the world's worst field trip. We already mentioned how he traveled to the pyramid under Antarctica with Celtic and Chopper so the group could complete their rite of passage. It was a simple kill the xenomorph and survive long enough to brag about it experiment, but what actually happens feels more like a cosmic prank by their elders. Let's dig deeper into what really happened after they arrived. The pyramid beneath Buvatoya isn't just a hunting arena, it's a shape-shifting death maze. As soon as the humans from the Wayland expedition stumble in and accidentally trigger the xenomorph eggs, all hell breaks loose. The hunt starts early, and it's clear that Scar's two brothers didn't get the memo about patience. Chopper is ambushed first and impaled before he even unsheathes a blade. Celtic lasts longer, but gets his skull cracked open by a xenomorph in an acid-spraying showdown. That only leaves Scar behind. He might be the youngest of the three, but he's clearly the smartest of the bunch. Scar doesn't waste energy chasing heat signatures like a headless chicken. Instead, he studies the layout till he finally faces a xenomorph and kills it. Then, in true Yautja fashion, he marks his forehead with that sizzling X-shaped burn like his graduation photo. One moment that really sets Scar apart comes when he encounters Charles Bishop. If you remember correctly, he's the aging billionaire who financed the human expedition into the pyramid. Now, instead of skewering him on the spot, Scar pauses to notice his labored breathing and decides he's not worth killing. In Predator logic, there's no honor in slaying the dying. That moment tells us everything about Scar's code. He might look brutal, but he's not brain dead. Then comes his unlikely partnership with Lex Woods. At first, they're enemies by default, but as the bodies pile up and the Queen awakens, Scar realizes teamwork might actually keep them both alive. Together, they take on the Alien Queen in one of the coolest tag team fights in the franchise. It's a fight straight out of myth, an ancient hunter and a human survivor taking down a literal monster queen. But victory has its price. The Queen's tail fatally impales Scar just as she's dragged into the freezing depths. Lex stays with him until the end, and in a final gesture of respect, he burns the same xenomorph mark into her cheek. Scar dies a warrior's death, but his actions rewrite Predator tradition. He hunted with intelligence and a touch of teamwork. What psychological traits define Scar? Scar might look like a walking tank with mandibles, but mentally, he's got more going on than most action heroes. He's not the loudest of the Yautja, but he's easily the smartest in the room. His two brothers, Celtic and Chopper, go in swinging like overconfident linebackers and end up as alien chow within minutes. Scar, on the other hand, knows how to study his prey and read situations. That's his real superpower, tactical adaptability. He treats every fight like a chess match instead of a bar fight. For example, when he realizes the humans have stolen the Predator's plasma guns, he doesn't charge in screaming, he waits to track them down and watches how they move. Then, he strikes at the perfect moment to reclaim his gear. Even when chaos breaks out, Scar doesn't lose focus. That calm, deliberate mindset is rare in a franchise where most Predators prefer exploding things first and asking questions, well, never, honestly. But what really makes Scar interesting is his sense of honor. We've already seen how he lets Charles Wayland go untouched. It's a moment that says more about Scar's character than any roar or kill ever could. And then there's his bond with Lex. He doesn't trust her at first, but once she proves her courage, he treats her like an equal. Scar's courage is all about following his code even when it's inconvenient. When the pyramid starts collapsing and xenomorphs swarm like ants, he focuses on the mission to destroy the infestation and preserve the hunt's integrity, even if that means activating his wrist bomb, all while knowing that it might kill him. That's commitment. And underneath all that armor and ritual, there's a surprising amount of emotional maturity. Scar is capable of empathy and restraint, the traits that make him feel oddly human. Compared to the feral xenomorphs and the impulsive predators, Scar stands out as a creature who understands not just how to kill, but why. What is Scar's legacy in the Predator and AVP franchise? Scar's story doesn't end when he collapses in the snow beside Lex Woods. In fact, that's just the beginning of his legacy because it ripples throughout the Alien vs. Predator universe. After the Queen is defeated, a massive Predator ship descends through the storm clouds. The Elder Predators step out with their towering and silent personas. When they see Scar's body, they don't treat it as a casualty, they treat it like royalty. The Elder even personally salutes Lex to acknowledge her as a warrior before taking Scar's body aboard their ship. That single gesture tells you everything about Scar. He died as a full-fledged hunter who earned his place among legends. But then comes the jaw-dropping twist where the ship drifts through space. Scar's body lies motionless and peaceful. The camera lingers just long enough for a telltale twitch beneath his chest. Out bursts a Pred-Alien chestburster. This hybrid is born from Scar's corpse. It's one of the most terrifying "congratulations, you played yourself" moments in sci-fi history. Scar's hard-earned mark becomes the origin of a new monster, and trust us, it wreaks havoc in AVP Requiem. That single moment cements Scar's importance in both franchises. His death literally births the crossover creature fans had been speculating about for decades, and while he doesn't survive to see the chaos, his mark continues to echo throughout the series. In AVP Requiem, the same X-shaped symbol he branded onto his forehead appears as a subtle nod to the Predator gear. How do fans and lore masters interpret Scar's role? Beyond the films, Scar's influence exploded in the fandom. Collectibles, statues, and action figures based on his design became instant favorites. The slideshow statue captures every detail: the acid-scorched helmet, the heavier armor plates, even the distinctive dreadlocks that framed his face. Fans still talk about him as the blooded hero. Among Predator fans and lore geeks, Scar is the guy who broke all the rules and somehow made it look cool. Most see him as the ultimate coming-of-age story in the Yautja universe. While other Predators proved themselves by piling up skulls, Scar did something no one expected. He grew up. He entered the pyramid an untested rookie and walked out a warrior who understood honor and teamwork. His entire hunt is basically a crash course in maturity, except the final exam involves explosions and a queen the size of a semi-truck. What really hooks fans is Scar's partnership with Lex Woods, since it's the first Predator-human team-up on screen. That bond redefined what fans thought Predators were capable of. Lore masters often point out how Scar's story captures the main themes of the Predator saga: tradition meeting evolution. He respects the old rituals, but he also adapts to survive. He doesn't reject human methods, he learns from them. That flexibility makes him stand out in a species that's often obsessed with pride and routine. But of course, innovation in Predator stories always comes with a price. Scar's decision to fight in close contact with xenomorphs and a human ally ultimately leads to the birth of the literal offspring of change gone wrong. It's poetic in a dark way. Marvelous verdict! Scar is the beating heart of Alien vs. Predator's entire experiment. He embodies everything that makes the Yautja species fascinating. Yet what makes him unforgettable is his growth. He's a walking contradiction, some might say: brutal but fair, ruthless yet capable of compassion. That's why fans still hold him above the rest of his species. Even in death, his legacy echoes, and it reminds us that courage and respect can cross species lines, even if the universe answers with something monstrous in return. What do you think was Scar's finest moment? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more such deep dives. Until next time, stay sharp and stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.